Welcome in Monty Williams. Rico Beard, did you see this coming?
No. If you don't succeed, pick up the phone and ask again. And it worked. It's the second time something like this has worked. First time it was Mel Tucker. Said no.
Oh.
No.
Why do you put...
No, he said no.
Oh, okay.
But because you said no doesn't mean that it's over. It means you come back with a better offer. Tom Gores and the Pistons did.
Right, but I don't want to compare this to Mel Tucker. I want this to actually work.
Okay, you know what? See, I'm saying, you know what? We're just going to start over. Hey, David, hit the intro music again. How about that?
But seriously, I want to check in with people as we start the show. I'm sorry, that was easy. It was low-hanging fruit. I apologize to you and to the Spartan brethren out there. Monty Williams is a home run hire for the Pistons, and you're right, Rico. This is a suddenly serious move from Tom Gores. I think there was a perception that this guy's checked out. He lives out in L.A. He doesn't care. This is a move of someone who cares, who says, we are so irrelevant, I'm going to throw money at it and try to fix the problem. Rico, I love what Tom Gores did, and I love what it means for our Pistons.
Not only, he played the role of weekend dad, where he would just kind of show up, absentee dad, take you to McDonald's, take you to a toy store, and then you don't see him again or hear from him again for months at a time. Heck, he did the other interviews out in L.A., not here to show off his facility. Nah, come out to my mansion out in L.A. So it did feel like a disconnect. Like, man, do the fans care more about this team than the actual owner? Well, guess what happened? The owner said, no, I do care about this team. I'm going to go out and get... Pistons fans may have to be okay with that this year your biggest free agent acquisition was the head coach.
You realize he makes more than everybody on the team except Bogdanovich.
Yes.
He is the highest paid coach in the NBA. He's the highest paid coach, I believe, in the U.S. that doesn't coach football.
Well, tell me who on this team should make more than him.
Cade's on a rookie deal. Ivy's on a rookie deal.
After seeing how they play, who should make more than him?
Oh, I'm not complaining about it. Rico, I'm rejoicing. I'm celebrating it because the alternative was Kevin Ollie. The alternative was, does this team have a pulse? Can someone come in and check? We show up today, and there is a pulse now for this team. Monty Williams joins a Pistons team that was at the very bottom of the sport. Not that different than where the Suns were 4 years ago. The Suns were a 19-win team. Monty Williams shows up 2 years later. They're in the NBA Finals. Top 10 in offense, top 10 in defense. Young group brought them along. Is that not exactly the vision we want to see here in Detroit?
Yeah.
And if Tom Gores simply comes in with $10 million, makes him among the highest paid coaches, it doesn't get it done. He had to go above and beyond. He had to be serious.
He had to be serious because he realized, I think what everybody else realized, I don't think you got nothing here. You need somebody, if you're going to go young, I understand, I don't agree, but I understand why I guess Kevin Ollie was the leader in the clubhouse because it was, well, he coached a G League team, and you pretty much have glorified G League players outside of Cade and Ivy. Now, you got a guy who took and can develop and get something out of the way I feel about this is when I found out when the Tigers went out and got Scott Harris. Whoa. You're serious about winning again, aren't you? You're really trying to go out and get someone who can evaluate talent and can try to make this thing better. Because it's not spinning your wheels. It's not, well, we're going to take this guy. He has a track record, and he has a connection with players. I don't think that there's anybody out there that has, well, outside of DeAndre Ayton, who has anything bad to say about Monty Williams.
Rico, I think this is more reminiscent of kind of the Pudge Rodriguez deal. Like, I know Monty doesn't play, but that was a signifying move that, hey, we're going to start spending money even though our team hasn't won anything. We need to shock the system and get out of this rut that we're in. Remember the Tigers 03, 04, some of the darkest moments at the end of the 90s into the early 2000s, shock to the system. The defibrillators came out. Mike Ilitch said, dun, 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 we got to shock the system. And for Tom Gores, I think you were right, Rico. He realized Nobody wants to coach here. We didn't get the number 1 pick. We don't have any star players. We're not an attractive destination. And it's why Troy Weaver's flying out nobodies for my meetings. I got to do something. I got to shock the system. Bring some kind of relevance to this team. Like, he's not going to win games with the whistle and a clipboard, but this does go a long way. If you have young players, you need them to be shepherded, brought along. You have a young backcourt of guys taken in the top 5. Are you going to give them any leadership, any stewardship? They got Monty Williams, who is going to come in and demand that they make smart decisions with the basketball, this 0.5-second offense. No more standing around and lollygagging. We're going to play as 5 out. We're going to move the ball. We're going to score. And Monty's always been a defensive coach. He will bring a credibility. He will bring a maturity and a relevance to this franchise that we haven't had in years.
See, I think the credibility goes with the fact now you can go into the free agent market, and you're going to have some people. You may not get the top free agent out there, but you're going to have some guys who can help this team and says, yeah, you know what? I played under Monty in Phoenix, or I played under Monty in other places. Yeah, the guy knows what he's talking about. I want back in.
How about this? This team needs to develop some wing defenders. They did a great job of that in Phoenix before they traded him all the way for Kevin Durant.
Don't even get me started on that.
Yeah, but that's the thought process here. Is Monty went from 19 wins to 34 wins to 50 to 60 wins, offense, defense, development, the whole deal. If you're a Pistons fan, I don't want to hear about, oh, we paid him too much or we were desperate. You were desperate. You should have been desperate. I'm happy the owner was desperate. I'm happy that Tom Gores had the sense to look himself in the mirror and go, we are desperate. We need help. And I have the money to do it. Because, Rico, we talk about the value of these teams and how Tom Gores has made so much money just sitting as the owner of this team. I love that one of the teams in town said, we're going to reinvest in the product.
Yeah.
We're going to spend considerably. And there's no salary cap for coaches. Rico, if they had paid him 10, 20, $50 million, I know that would be ridiculous, but what difference does it make to you and me?
It ain't our money.
Go get your guy.
Well, it's not our money either.
Right.
And in the grand scheme of things, the money, the $78 million means nothing to a billionaire. Just if you want to put things in perspective, it's like going out and buying fast food. The $78 million. To you and I, we may never see that in our lifetime combined, but to them, but you made a statement. You told your team, guys, we're going to be serious. I'm sick of losing. I'm sick of crossing our fingers, hoping that we get the number 1 pick and waiting on life. I need to develop these guys that we have right here, right now. And Monty said no. I'm more impressed with the fact that they didn't take no for an answer. They said, wait a minute. That wasn't our best deal. We were just playing. Monty, we was playing. Here's the real deal. We just want to see if you was paying attention. That's all. Here's the real deal. They worked it out. Last night, David sends a text. Boom. It's going down, Detroit.
Guys, do you just look outside for a second? Look out that nice, bright window. The sun's coming in the window. You see people jumping, skipping, laughing, hopping around. You know why? Because hope is back in the city. We have hope again in this city for the Pistons.
Do we?
Yes, we have.
Pistons fan, does this do? Are you now excited? Do you now feel like you're a competitive team in Detroit? Do you like the hire? Do you not like the hire? Or should we just go on and talk about, hot dogs or brats? 248-539. Seriously.
I know, Rico. I know. And David, you've said this for a while that hope had been lost. I mean, hell, you wouldn't even pray for this team anymore. You know how dark it had gotten. And I think the fan base had felt like, okay, with no number 1 pick, you fall all the way to 5. No one wants to be here. No one wants to coach here. We're left for dead. We're going to sit by the side of the road, and this franchise is just going to lay there and be dead. I don't think that's the case today. I don't think the franchise is dead today. Now, they're going to have to put better players on the court and develop better players, but you need someone who can coach them up. Look at what's winning right now. Look who's playing in the NBA Finals.
Well,
it's Spoelstra coaching his ass off, and it's the Nuggets who are doing it without an elite top 5 pick.
And then I just look at, Casey. No one got better.
Yeah.
He could be a fine man. No one got better under him. Now, this is what Monty does. He makes teams and gets them to that next level. So if we're sitting there complaining, well, we only made it to the finals but didn't win, it sure beats we lost out on the number 1 overall pick.
Rico, let's cross that bridge when we get there. Oh,
Right.
no, our team underachieved in the NBA Finals.
Right, because now I got expectations for this team. Now, granted that everyone stays healthy, yes. But this is a man with a proven track record. Honestly, I think he's worth every penny. I like the bold move. We are going out there and getting the best coach. Because through the entire coaching process, coaches are getting fired left and right, and we're sitting there. Well, we're going after Kevin Ollie, who nobody else is going after. And it's not to say that Kevin Ollie can't be a great NBA coach. Maybe he'll be a Hall of Famer. I don't know. But you just wanted to see them go out and try some of these other guys who got fired, but they got fired because their teams got impatient with them, not because they were bad coaches.
I don't think Monty's a bad coach at all. There's this thing now in the NBA where guys get fired.
It's the coach's fault if we don't win at all.
Yeah, basically. And I think he became the fall guy, and he did a hell of a job coaching in Phoenix.
I mean, I'm going to do load management. I only want to play in 50 of the 82 games, but if we don't win, it's all the coach's fault. Or maybe it's you because you didn't play every day and you didn't give it your all. But because you're paying the player $200 million and you're paying the coach $20 million, guess which one's expendable?
Think about this. The Pistons go into this summer with roughly, give or take, $30 million of cap space. They've got a coach who should be bringing along 2 top 5 guards, and you might have a third top 5 pick if they hold on to that spot.
They're going in with more than $30 million of cap space. I was looking at their numbers. They have players who haven't played in 3 years who fall off.
Do you realize? You do. People might not realize this year against the cap, Kemba Walker, DeAndre Jordan. He didn't play here, but they took him in part of one of those deals and just had to eat the dead money. They're going to have flexibility.
It feels like they just finished paying Joe Smith off. But seriously, I was like, DeAndre Jordan is on their books? Yes. If I saw it correctly, they may have close to $55 million that they could spend.
Yes, there's always the flexibility. I think it's 30 without really doing anything, and if you start getting creative, yeah, you can open up a good chunk of money here. And one of his former guys, Cam Johnson, is a restricted free agent, one of Monty Williams' guys.
I would love to have him here, but you're going to have to overpay.
I understand. They have an opportunity now that they didn't have 24 hours ago to chart a course for the future that leads to postseason success, pursuit of a championship. They were a rudderless ship, and now they have someone holding the wheel. How do you guys feel about it? Monty Williams, stunner last night. Pistons make him the highest paid coach in the sport. More than Spoelstra, more than Popovich, more than everybody. 6 years, $78 million. There's escalators, incentives, option years. It could end up being a $100 million contract. That's Tom Gore saying, I'm not an absent owner. I'm invested. I think this is as much about Gore's as it is anything else. You have an owner who says, I'm going to outpay everybody to get my coach. I'm invested. I'm serious. I'm not going to let this franchise languish. How do you feel about it as a Pistons fan? 248-539-9797. We will talk to Pistons fans this hour. Rico was out in Wayne State earlier today. Sound mind, sound body.
Well, it's actually the National College Showcase is the official name.
Oh, did they rebrand that?
Well,
it's bigger. Everybody knows it's Sound Mind, Sound Body.
It's bigger than Sound Mind, Sound Body.
Okay, well, you were there, hobnobbing, rubbing elbows, getting the scuttlebutt. There's your old man word of the day from me. We'll get to it at 3 o'clock. We will talk about what Rico overheard.
What I overheard sitting out on the Davenport.